Welcome to Warblog. So we're looking at the Serebryansky Forest Advance. So this is the Serebryansky Forest here. So all I'm really trying to do is sort of represent this sort of advance through the forest, but we've got all this stuff down here. Now what I've given them is put them into trenches. Now it's going to be quite hard to attack through these trench lines, which is quite dense, but here the defensive line is less dense. I've sort of done this a few times now, but I'm not even going to bother with the bombing and artillery because I think we should be able to do this, but we'll see. 6-1 and a DR. There was just chance that they were like that actually. We'll sort of move these guys over. I don't think they've got any more movement. And then what I did before, here's the artillery, and try to take this point here. I don't think I actually did the attack last time. But these main defensive lines should be a lot harder. What's he on now? 3.5, so we'll put the drones in there. Okay, so we've put concerted effort on there and he's half strength, so let's see what this actually does when we have 4 units. And again, it's just chance that they're actually there. Well, that was good. So we've got a DE. Should have left someone outside of there. Can we break through anywhere else? See what happens. Pushed him out as well. I didn't realise it was going to be so easy. So we actually got in there as well. Taking damage from the mines, but being able to get in there is sort of breaking through on all of that. Let's sort of maybe move him there. Got another point there that we could try and take. Push them back as well. No, he's got no more movement. You can't do it. Right, okay. Suddenly becoming quite interesting now because I didn't think it would be that easy. Now, what can the Ukrainians do? Well, they sort of pretty much want to retake these areas. So there's that. And that, try and move him back as a sort of form of reserve. Should really be counter-attacking. We want to be pummeling that. We'll stack there. Let's see what we can do. Need some good numbers here. That is Those are not good numbers. Let's see if the drones can do anything. Oh, something. 3.5, 2.6, 1. What does that actually mean? I don't think there's enough. However, there's 4 units there. We could possibly attack, but we would only be like at 2 to 1. Is it worth trying? Let's see what these numbers here are, because we should win this. So plus 10%, so that's 2 5s, 10 plus 10, 10% was made it 11 versus a 1. So obviously those are good odds. We can push them back. Where did that happen? Oh, there. So he's at depression 1, he's been pushed back. Here, 7.1, that's not good. But we've really got to hold that line. So they should be 15. Let's see. Let's just see. Because I'm going to go to bed soon anyway, I'm tired. Oh, 1 to 1. Probably because they were at 7. And we must have just about got a 7. And we got a 1 and pushed them back. That was like formidable. So that's something the BBC would just be all over. The brave Ukrainians pushing the nasty Russians back. Oh, we regained our trench line. But that one's going to lose. We've got to try and push these back. The odds should be... yeah. We'll leave him to recover, I think. Bring these ones back in, because I think we're going to have to engage here. We've pushed these forward. We could sort of concatenate this line, because these are just wasted units otherwise, to try and engage those units. I mean, we could almost attack here. Three to 1 and push them back. So that would be a 2 to 1 almost. A 2 to 1. exchange. Oh, right, okay, well, let's move on. So, the Russians. Well, we should have... Did we fight there? I can't remember now. The Ukrainians have got some reinforcements. I think the Russians are going to win this. But we're going to advance through this wood. He's going to go to 0. Let's push him here and move them back. This should be a bit tighter, but if we can get him out of his defence. Yeah. So, strategic attacks with our artillery and drones. I think what I want to do is to push something that's not going to recover. I don't think any of this stuff is going to offer a lot of resistance. However, he's at 7.5, so if we put some drones, he might rout, which would make that an empty hex. Ouch. Nope, that's not good news. I think he got a morale bonus because he was in the trenches, though. 9.1. Let's do some artillery strikes. Oh, it's just like not what I want. Ah, that's what I wanted, but that was expensive. And some more artillery. Where can we put that? What's weak? That's weak. I don't think we'll rout it, but there's a small chance. Not with a big fat 0, there isn't. Okay. Right, so this is where we've got the biggest opportunity, but the least real opportunity to actually manipulate that. So we can go like this. Do I want to come out here? I don't think we need 3. Oh, 3 was probably just as well. I did that so I could go like this. Now, so the thing is, if we attack that, he could retreat there. So let's give ourselves that same sort of odds, 3 units against 1. So we've got him and he's retreated there. But we don't have anyone to move in there now. There, let's just commit everyone. Why not? Oh. I thought he had movement, that's why I didn't include him. But that's given us a big long stretch there. punching line, so really the Ukrainians should have some trenches to fall back on. Oh! What happened there? What did I miss? Attack a retreat. I can't go. So there you go. So sort of like not thinking. They've done something stupid. So we're there, and obviously retreated to there. Another attack and retreat. That was incredible. I must be missing something. But he was at 2.7, which is like 5.4, and he was at 5.1. This is because I'm not thinking. I just thought I just assumed that I was going to be doing quite good damage across all of these places. Right. That is put things into a new perspective now, because the ease of moving forward is not as certain. I've had two massive losses. Oh, an exchange. That's some kind of town under there. Okay. I don't want to do that last attack. I might have to pull him back. Okay, so now the Ukrainians are heartened by this turn of events. But my mind is not fully awake. They've lost a lot of this trench line here. But can they take... and they got some reinforcements. We could probably get him back. See, the thing is, I call it duck warfare. When a duck charges another duck, the other duck generally runs away. And then it sits there and it thinks, oh, hang on, I'm a duck. And so it charges back at the other duck, and the other duck runs away. Because they're pretty stupid, because all they see is this big force coming towards them, and they run away without fully realizing, you know, sometimes they stand, but things, when you look at it, they're just ducks. You know, unlike humans, they can't do as much damage to each other. They can just sort of peck each other. And, but they will generally, and the same with pigeons, they'll just sort of generally run away. So the Ukrainians can equally charge at the Russians, and the Russians will run away. We can prove that here, but these are Depression 4, you see. That's the difference. So we push him there, and the Russian will run away. Quack, quack. He ran away, just like I said. I think we can take that again, at least. Really want to stop. We might be able to hold our ground up here. The thing that I'm aware of is got to start looking at the numbers. And I think there might be something wrong with the Russian reinforcements, because they don't seem to have been getting any, or did they? So we can possibly attack that hex and win. However, we do have drones and artillery. Maybe we should consider that in the first instance for doing some big damage somewhere. There's 2 units in there. He's at 1. You see, we should be able to just punch him back. But this is a fresh unit, you see, so we'll use the fresh unit. So he should run away. Getting him out of there would be good. But this stack would be good to sort of try and destroy. What's his movement? He can get into there. So we really want to take this hex as a sort of priority, and I don't think we want to risk it with a costly game of chance. So let's put in some artillery on that, see whether we can at least knock him back somewhat. However, to be quite honest, it might be better to go for some of these stacks. We've got 3 there and 3 there. They're in the open. Let's just do it, because I might, if we do well here, I might risk a big battle. I can move him to there. Oh. 2.5, 3.3, 1.5. Okay, so he can move it into there. This is depression 4. So we'll do an attack that doesn't include the depression 4 guy. So we do that, that, and that. So we can get these Russians out of the trenches. Yes, didn't need that much really, but I don't like to do a lot of thinking. And we can move him into there. So it gives us that trench line back along there. He's at depression 3. So we can definitely just use everyone against him. So that gives us at least some certainty of good numbers. And pushing him back. He's at depression 1.5, 2.5. I don't think we've got enough to attack it, but it might be a 2-to-1. A bit of a gamble, really. However, what other gambles do we have? There's that stack over there. He's fresh, and he's at 1.3, so we can do this attack, which should be good, reasonable odds. Yeah, D5. So that pushes them back. Here, now they're fresh, and we can put 4 against this, which should give us some reasonable numbers. Yep. And where did they go? Good, they went in. Oh, no, that's the only place they could have gone. So the Ukrainians have actually done okay. But we've still lost a length of entrenchment there. That's the Ukrainians. So these 3 hexes are still lost. Could do that, but I don't think I will. It's got 1 unit in there. Depression 0, depression 3. There's no more movement for him. Could possibly attack there. But here, what are we? This is the wood. It's what the game's all about. I'll become a bit more obsessed with down here, really. Pushing them back over the river would be a good thing. Doing so well. See, I don't think we can do that attack. We've got units that we could move out. We could attack that. That would be... I think that should be a 3-to-1. I'm going to try it, but I could be really embarrassing myself here. Oh, 2-to-1 in exchange, so yeah, could have been a lot worse. I'm not going to do that attack. They were in the open, you see. So anyway, it's the Russian turn now. So they get some reinforcements. Definitely a interesting game, more interesting than I thought it would be. A couple of major mess ups, but here we really want to start destroying things, really. The important thing, I think, is to sort of bear in mind where there are actually weak units, because it's very easy to sort of think, oh well, these units are, you know, forming a good line, but they all look relatively fresh. But he's at 1.3. So they're all quite fresh. So he's at 3, so he could probably be taken out by this unit there. And that would allow us to advance. Oh, it's also mind-bending. So I get the feeling really I should be trying to... See, what we want to be doing is destroying units. Okay, I'm going to go for this little stack here. One. 0.5, 0.8. Okay, so that's taking them up to 2.5 and 3.8. Putting the drones on there. So we didn't route anything, but he's at 4. He's at 4.9. Let's see if we can knock them out. Okay. Ooh, 5.9. Let's follow that up. We should be able to get good odds on this. Look at that. Unit eliminated from the attack, and this unit failed its morale. So that was exceptional. Fresh. Fresh. Oh. Well, the Russians have done a lot better this turn because they've got this nice big hole here with all of that line there. Broke through there last time. But to be quite honest, I'm going to leave it at that because I'm tired and I could probably very easily carry on for a bit longer and I don't want to. I've got to go to sleep. But it's sort of interesting because there's lots of things that can be done. And to be quite honest, it's actually a surprisingly more challenging game than I thought it would be. It really is. And that road shouldn't be there. I deliberately didn't put in a lot of the other things like mechanised and anti-tank and air defences because I wanted it to be like that, you know, that sort of, I don't want to say man-to-man type thing, but it just seems to me that they're cutting corners on losing heavy equipment. One of the things I will say is that, I said this in the forum, not that anyone ever reads anything I say, but in the Middle East they were also using a lot of Technics. So these were Toyota pickups with heavy machine guns on the back of them, and it seems to me that the whole point of that was it got you in there fast with a heavy machine gun, and then you could just almost drive straight up to the trenches and throw grenades in and attack them, whereas advancing across an open field, say towards a French line, is quite fraught. It just seems to me that we're not seeing that at all. And the thing is, I get a feeling they're not using, say, armoured personnel carriers or AFVs so much because they don't want to lose them, because they're very easy to take out with some, the sort of the anti-armour things that they have. But it's understandable to some extent, because even the APCs are sort of, I don't know how much they cost, but they're not cheap. They've got a lot of hardware in them, and this is the thing, they're not just like tanks anymore. They've got lots of sort of communication systems in them, and to fit them out is quite expensive, and especially when they're going to last about a week. But the value of a Toyota pickup is it's got to be a fraction. I mean, when we're talking about APCs are sort of probably the lower end. So a support tank, it's got to be millions, and I'm not saying that they can replace them, but the thing is they're not using them. But the principle of them is that they can get in somewhere quick. So you drive in there quick. I mean, this is what in the Middle East, they were just doing that all the time, and they would put big armored plates on the front. And we're not seeing any of these improvised vehicles at all. And proper, because they're proper armies fighting each other. But it surprises me actually that they're not doing that. It just seems to me that they're just not making any ground anywhere, particularly quickly. Whereas these sort of pickup trucks, you can just, they're almost expendable, because it's not so much the fact that they get blown up too much. They get shot at and the engine block goes or the tyres go. But as soon as they get some sort of fire, everyone in the back jumps out, so to speak. I'm pretty sure that they could be used a little more effectively, because you'd be driving at such speed that you'd be you're driving to an objective, say a building or a trench line, and then you're jumping out into the trench. The question is, can you get there? But we're doing it so quickly, but quite often it's the matter of surprise. But anyway, that's just a thought, really. It's just they don't seem to be doing, we're not seeing these Toyota pickups, and I'm pretty sure that even in the even in places like Yemen, the Saudi government were actually using them. And maybe it's the terrain, maybe it's just not right. Even when it's hard, it's just too hard for the vehicles. There's too many ditches, and it's not like sandy terrain where they can be readily used. It just seems to me that they're not just places like Bakhmut. They're just not sort of driving straight through and making breakthroughs. Even in the Korean War, they would break through the enemy line and just filter through behind enemy lines, saturating all their lines of communication and support, and sort of holding that. I mean, you could break through here and then just filter all the way up there, and you cut all of these units off. We're not really seeing any of that mobile warfare at all. It seems to me that they're walking at a snail's pace, and not really doing a lot, really. But anyway, I just wanted to add that as a comment. Obviously, I'm really tired and I should be asleep and not talking gibberish on the internet. So I'll leave it at that, and I'll maybe speak to you later and play this game because it's exciting. I'll speak to you later. Cheerio.